Alright students, we'll move to the second method of solving a quadratic equation, that is solving it by the quadratic formula, or also known as the Sridharacharya's formula. Okay, here by the name Sridharacharya's formula because Sridharacharya was the mathematician who came up with the formula, and hence it is also known by his name. Alright, so if we have a quadratic equation of the form ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, then we can find out its root directly by solving this by the formula method. The formula is x equals minus b plus minus square root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. Okay, this is the quadratic formula. All right, here a, b and c are nothing but the coefficients that we get from the standard form of quadratic equation. Okay, now why do we have this quadratic formula, since we were already using factorizing to solve a quadratic equation, right? Now the reason is because not every quadratic equation can be solved by factorization. Okay, not every equation can be solved by factorization, and hence we have come up with the second method, that is the solving by the quadratic formula. So here we are going to see the proof of this formula, like why is this formula valid. Okay, so I'm just going to show you the proof of this formula. So how we are going to start it? We are going to start this with the standard form of the quadratic equation. That is, let's say if we have an equation ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. Okay, so from this formula itself we will derive the equation, we will derive the formula. Okay, so the first step here is to divide the whole equation by a. Dividing the equation by a. Okay, so once we divide this equation by a, what do we get? X square plus bx by a plus c by a equal to 0. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to transpose the constant term. Here the constant term is c by a. Now constant term is which does not have a variable along with it. Okay, so we will transpose the c by a to the right hand side, and we will get x square plus bx by a equals minus c by a. Now our task is to make our left hand side a perfect square. Okay, our task is to make our left hand side a perfect square either by adding or subtracting some term. Okay, so see very carefully what I'm going to do here is, okay, I'm going to add, we will add b square by 4a square on both sides of the equations. B square by 4a square on both sides of the equation. Okay, so what will happen once we do this? We will get x square plus bx by a plus b square upon 4a square equals b square upon 4a square minus c by a. Okay, so we have added b square upon 4a square on both sides. Why did we do this? Because now our left hand side, this term has become a perfect square term. Our left hand side has become a perfect square term. How is this a perfect square term? I'm going to show it in the next step. So this is the square of the expression x plus b by 2a whole squared. Okay, x upon x plus b by 2a whole square. So you can just verify this by expanding this whole square term that I've brought. Okay, and you will notice that you will get the expression which is written above. Okay, and this equals, on the right hand side we can take the LCM. Okay, so what do we get? B square minus 4ac upon 4a square. Okay, so what we have done here, we have taken the LCM on the right hand side. Okay, now in the next step, we will take square root on both sides. Okay, taking square root on both sides. So on the left hand side, what we are going to get is, we will get x plus b upon 2a is equal to, on the right hand side what we're going to get is plus minus under root of b square minus 4ac upon 4a square. Okay, now if you see the denominator 4a square is a perfect square, so it can come out of the square root. And now if you are wondering why do we have written the sign plus and minus both, plus and minus both, the reason is when we do 3 squared we get 9, and when we do minus 3 squared also we get plus 9. Okay, so when we take the square root, when we are solving an equation in which we need to take the square root of 9, we write the answer as plus minus 3. Okay, so if we get an equation in which we are getting the square root of 3, we can say there are two possible answers, plus 3 and minus 3, and that is why here also we have done the same thing. We have written plus minus square root of b square minus 4ac by 4a square. So what do we get next? X plus b by 2a equals plus minus under root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. Now what we're going to do is transpose b upon 2a from the left side to the right side. So we get x equals minus b by 2a plus minus under root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. Okay, and now since the denominator is same on the right hand side, we can combine them, and we have got our answer as x equals minus b plus minus under root of b square minus 4ac whole divided by 2a. And this is the quadratic formula to solve a quadratic equation. I hope everyone has understood the proof of this question, of this equation. Yes, kindly note it down everyone.